According to Section 46(1)(GA of the Information and Communication Technologies Act 2021, it is an offense if a person, and I quote, uses a telecommunication equipment, an information and communication service, a telecommunication service or information and communication technologies to send, transmit, transfer, post, publish, deliver, show, or otherwise communicates by means of the telecommunication equipment a message which is obscene, indecent, offensive, abusive, threatening, menacing, false, or misleading, which is likely to cause or causes harm to a person, unquote. In the light of this provision, it is an offense to use any telecommunication device to post on the social media in the form of speech, data, text, writings, images, signs, signals, or code, or a combination of forms which are obscene, indecent, offensive, abusive, threatening, menacing, false, or misleading in nature, and which are likely to cause harm to any person. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am informed that the types of cases include using telecommunications equipment to cause annoyance, humiliation, inconvenience, distress, or anxiety to any person, to impersonate another person, and for the transmission of messages which are of a nature likely to endanger or compromise state defense, public safety, or public order. Any person who commits an offense under the ICT Act shall, on conviction, be liable to a fine not exceeding 1 million rupees and to penal servitude for a term not exceeding 10 years. Provisional charges are usually determined following the outcome of police investigations. In the conduct of the inquiries, the police takes into consideration the language used, the age and characteristics of the alleged victim, whether the message was anonymous, the extent of circulation of the message, the context in which the message appeared, amongst others. Mr. Speaker, sir, social media, which comprises internet-based applications, has seen an unprecedented growth during the last decade and has taken a prominent place in the lives of people, mostly because of easy accessibility to internet and smartphones. There has been a marked rise in usage of social media platforms such as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, WhatsApp, and Instagram. Although digital technology has democratized the public sphere, unfortunately, some people are making an abuse and misuse thereof, causing prejudice to other persons. In fact, today, social media platforms are increasingly being used as a means for settling scores, spreading false news and hatred speech, character assassination, extortion, illegal betting, stirring social and racial unrest, attacking the integrity of persons, and fraud. Mr. Speaker, sir, not only our country, but also other countries are struggling to find ways and means to control and minimize the misuse and abuse of social media. For instance, in the European Union, the Council of the European Union has, in July 2022, adopted the Digital Services Act and the Digital Markets Act, which aim at creating a safer digital space in which the fundamental rights of users of digital services are protected through the imposition of risk assessments and sanctions such as fines and temporary bans. In the same vein, the United Kingdom is coming up with the Online Safety Act. Some countries are also negotiating with social media agencies to open offices in their countries for a better control and moderation of contents. Countries such as Canada and India are enacting laws to address the issue of social media threats. These measures are possible because all the social media companies have a point of presence in these countries, which is not the case in Mauritius. I am also informed that countries in the region, like Madagascar, Maldives, and the Seychelles, are in the same situation as Mauritius, whereby there is no prompt response from social media companies to social media threats. And this is also due to the absence of these companies locally. Mr. Speaker, sir, to be in line with international trends regarding safer digital space, in Mauritius, the Computer Misuse and Cybercrime Act 2003 was repealed in 2021 and replaced by the Cybersecurity and Cybercrime Act, in line with the Budapest Convention on Cybercrime. This convention is the first international treaty on crimes committed via the Internet and other computer networks, dealing particularly with infringements of copyright, computer-related fraud, child pornography, and violations of network security. It also contains a series of powers and procedures, such as the search of computer networks and interception. Its main objective is to pursue a common criminal policy aimed at the protection of society against cybercrime, especially by adopting appropriate legislation and fostering international cooperation. The Cybersecurity and Cybercrime Act 2021 provides, amongst others, for offenses such as cyberbullying, computer-related forgery, and misuse of fake profile. Under this act, undesirable content includes any online content that is deceptive or inaccurate, posted with intent to defame, threaten, abuse, or mislead the public, threatens public health or public safety, threatens national security, and promotes racism. Mr. Speaker, sir, moreover, the Computer Emergency Response Team, Mauritius, CERT-MU, was set up in 2008 under the aegis of the National Computer Board to provide information and assistance to organizations in implementing proactive measures to reduce the risks of information security incidents, as well as responding to such incidents as and when they occur. The CERT-MU, which now falls directly under the purview of the Ministry of Information Technology, Communication and Innovation, operates the Mauritian Cybercrime Online Reporting System, MOCOS, which is the national online system that allows the public to securely report cybercrimes occurring on social media. It is a centralized cyber incident reporting system that connects the CERT-MU, the Cybercrime Unit of the Mauritius Police Force, the Data Protection Office, and the Information Communication Technologies Authority. It provides advice in recognizing and avoiding common types of cybercrime which take place on social media websites. I am informed that complaints regarding illegal and offensive contents are reported to the police, either directly or through the MOCOS. On the basis of the information received, the police decides whether to open case files and conduct further investigations. In addition, the Ministry of Information Technology, Communication and Innovation had a meeting with representatives of Facebook in July 2021 to discuss on incident escalation and resolution. Following the meeting, a 2-day sensitization workshop was held by Facebook Meta, involving stakeholders from the public and private sector. Following a request from Mauritius to Facebook, the latter has recruited personnel from the Mauritian diaspora to look into the content, especially in Creole. A similar request has been made to TikTok recently, and a reply is awaited. Mr. Speaker, sir, I am informed by the Commissioner of Police that since January 2015 to date, 1,308 cases of illegal comments and posts on the social media have been reported to the police. Out of these cases, 47 persons have been provisionally charged and arrested in relation to 42 cases. The nature of these comments and posts were mostly offensive language, racial hatred, sextortion, threats, blackmailing, character assassination, fake profile, false information, and endangering public order. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. May I ask the Honorable Prime Minister, why further to the different police complaints filed by 3 journalists of Le Défi Media Group, the managing director of Top FM on 10th November 2022, regarding online harassment, linking them to drug trafficking by people close to the MSM, like the Sun TV. No arrest or identification of these individuals have been carried out so far.
Well, first of all, let me say that Sun TV is not close to the MSM. It is not.
Order.
It is not. Well, you think any key is close to the Labour Party? Anywhere you put a key, it's close to the Labour Party.
Order.
So I would say that Sun TV News, as I say, has nothing to do with the MSM, right? Now, yes, I am informed that there was an article under caption, urgent, very serious news, and so on. Now, on the same day, Mr. A.R.A., the director of public prosecutions, had phoned and insisted the police to call at his place at residence, Triano, and register his complaint in connection with the aforementioned article. An officer from the cybercrime unit of the Central Criminal Investigation Department proceeded to his place. A statement was taken, and I am informed, well, the statement relates to what was posted, and as such, he requested the police to initiate an inquiry. An inquiry on his behalf was opened in the occurrence book. I don't need to give all the references. The inquiry into the matter was immediately initiated, and the extract of the post was captured for the purpose of inquiry. And on Sunday, 26th of February, 2023, the Mauritius Police Force made a request to the Computer Emergency Response Team of Mauritius to remove a derogatory post from the Facebook page of Sun TV News. This complaint was escalated to Facebook on the same day for removal of the defamatory content, and further cyber patrols on other social media platforms were carried out by the police in order to look for similar articles. Subsequently, after 3 days, it was observed that the Facebook page with profile name Sun TV News has been deactivated, and the said post has been removed. The reported content is no longer available, and so far the author of the article is unknown, but the inquiry is in progress. Yes, the inquiry is still in progress.
ask the Honorable Prime Minister, because there is a general perception whether these provisional charges, especially when they are used against political opponents, they are used as a political, what we call arm or tool, to squash political opponents' activism and activities, because often these charges are struck out by the court of law.
Well, why you say these charges are struck out by the court of law? How many charges are struck out? Do you have statistics? Do you know?
Few examples.
No, examples, but when you say most of the charges are struck out, there are cases where some people have been convicted. I think I have figures, but Mr. Speaker, sir, well, let me say generally, anyone who posts any comment or any of their own views on the social media, they have to assume their responsibility. Now, if they go against the law, or if it is defamatory, of course, people who are subject or who are being victimized, they have to report either the matter to the police or to MOCOS through online reporting, or if through Cyber Patrol, the police ever comes on any post that they believe is going against the law, they will take action. Now, I've been provided with some information, that is status of cases for period 2015 to 2023. So the status of 42 cases were filed and no further action free, sent to DPP for advice 7, caution administered 4. Caution administered means that they have been found to be at fault, but the sentence is to give a caution. Convicted and fined 6, pending trial in court 5, and still under inquiry 17.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Is the Honorable Prime Minister aware of a recent post on the social media where a media reporter, Mr. A.K.R. Sahab, uttered some words of vulgar nature while reporting on proceedings held at the Privy Council, and whether any action is envisaged in that case? Thank you.
Well, Mr. Speaker, sir, yes. I think all of us are aware of this post where that media reporter, Mr. A.K.R., not only uttered words of vulgar nature, but also made vile accusations while reporting on proceedings held at the Privy Council. In his live intervention posted at around 2000 hours on Monday, 10th of July 2023, the media reporter A.K.R. stated, and I quote, Section 64 de la Representation of the People Act. C'est un argument en substance qui Timothy Straker, devant ban lolo sin faire, représentant légal sur un dial, soutenir qui sa ban reproche là, li constituer ban acte de corruption, ban acte coquin, casse L. I can't say that, Mr. Speaker, sir. Unquote. That media reporter dared to utter casse L after act coquin, which is filthy and altogether shocking coming from a media person. As regards to the other part of the question, I'm informed by the Commissioner of Police that an inquiry has been instituted into the matter following Cyber Patrol.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, can the Honourable Prime Minister inform the House as to the number of cases reported on MOCOS since its creation?
Yeah. I should be having... Well, I don't have the numbers. If I can be, yeah. So cases reported on MOCOs, so 1,366 cases of illegal and offensive content have been reported on MOCOs from March 2018 till date. And these illegal contents are classified under the following categories: content instructing or promoting crime or violence, content promoting racism, hate speech, and criticism, sexually explicit content, and footage of real violence or accidents from video clips, games, or films.
Thank you, Speaker. Can the Honorable Prime Minister inform the House as to the outcome of the complaint made to the police by the Minister of Health and Wellness against a post on social media dated 27 February 2020, where foul wording was used against him?
Mr. Speaker, sir, I'm informed that in this case, the accused was prosecuted, and upon pleading guilty in the court, he was fined 10,000 rupees and had also to make for cost about 500 rupees.
Roy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, in his answer, the Honourable Prime Minister mentioned about CERTMU, also 42 cases which were reported. Can the Honourable Prime Minister inform the House as to whether there has been any kind of sensitization campaign with regard to the illegal post ongoing on the social media?
Mr. Speaker, sir, the Police Cybercrime Unit of the Central Criminal Investigation Department, which is the main body of the Mauritius Police Force, investigating into cases related to such breaches with regard to Information and Communication Technologies Act and of Cybercrime and Cybersecurity Act, also conducts regular sensitization for the general public with regard to safety and proper use of electronic devices, the internet and social media.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Can we know from the Honourable Prime Minister whether with regards to cybercrime, whether there will be another department that will be created to empower with regards to how social media is being misused, and we are having so many complaints, whether there will be an empowerment with regards to this department?
Well, Mr. Speaker, sir, what I can say is that with the advance of technology, and unfortunately, I must say, we're making a lot of progress, and on a number of occasions, it's very difficult to be able to trace those perpetrators, because their platform is not within the control of the authorities here. And as we know, the policy with regard to those platforms, they themselves, they leave it for like free expression for anybody to publish anything on their platform, except then when it is reported to them, and even when it is reported to them, depends on whether they decide to remove any such post. So what we are doing is providing capacity building, giving more training for our people, and I believe that this is the measure that has to be ongoing, because in the light of development of technology.
Speaker, sir. May I ask the Honourable Prime Minister, because we are talking about freedom of expression, human rights, why, when political opponents are arrested, then unnecessary humiliation, inhuman conditions are meted out to these political opponents? We suggest that same treatment...
You already stated your question.
Yes, well, Mr. Speaker, sir, as I say, it doesn't concern political people, it concerns everybody, anybody. And as I have a list of cases here, Mr. Speaker, sir, because the Honourable Member asked from 2015 to date, there are people who are not connected, well, I believe who are not known politicians, I would say, and who have been subjected to, I must say, all sorts of accusations, all sorts of allegations, and they have reported cases to the police on Mokos, and inquiry has been initiated in all these cases. And as I say, ultimately, if the offenders are able to be identified, and if there is a case, then they will be taken before a court of law.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. In his reply earlier, the Prime Minister mentioned on the increasing misuse of social media. Can the Honourable Prime Minister thus provide us information on where exactly a complaint regarding illegal posts or comments can be registered? Thank you.
Well, the complaint can be registered directly to the police, first of all, or it can be registered on Mokos. As I say, it's an online facility for anyone without having to come physically to the authority to report a case by, of course, providing all the necessary information. And it can be reported also to ICTA. ICTA also has a way of then providing all the information to the police eventually for investigation.
Le Premier ministre peut-il dire à la Chambre, est-ce qu'il a soulevé la question avec le commissaire de police concernant la question de l'honorable Ganga Prasad, quand les 3 journalistes de Radio Plus et Top FM ont donné leur déposition, ça fait presque une année, rien n'a été fait, et dans le cas du Premier ministre qui a donné une déposition, et le lendemain, une internaute, pour une blague, a été arrêté. Est-ce que cette question a été soulevée avec le Premier ministre concernant cette politique de 2 points de mesure? Le Premier ministre, le lendemain, et les journalistes, une année après.
Monsieur le Président, je crois que l'honorable membre n'écoute pas quand je réponds à une question. Son collègue, l'honorable Ganga Prasad, qui a posé la question concernant cette publication concernant Sun TV. J'ai pris le temps de la Chambre pour donner les détails. Qu'est-ce que la police a fait? Il n'écoute pas. Et il vient dire toutes sortes de choses. So I will refer him to the answer that I have given previously to Honorable Ganga Prasad.
Right.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Can the Honourable Prime Minister inform the House as to whether any Honourable members, MPs, female MPs have ever had recourse to Mokos, CERT, MU or cybercrime, where some of them gave some information? Has there been any arrest with regard to those kind of posts online? Where matters stand with regards to that? Is there any dépôt de mesure that MPs get favourable treatment? Can the Honourable Prime Minister inform the House?
Yes, I can't recall anyone here having been arrested, but anyone is free to, of course, make a complaint if he feels that he has been subjected to any offence which has been committed by anybody.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Prime Minister did make a reference to the online safety bill, which is the subject of much debate in UK and is quite controversial. Am I to understand from what Prime Minister has said that government intends to come with legislation which is going to be more stringent, or will government carry on with existing legislation?
Mr. Speaker, sir, what I said is I mentioned in my answer what is being done in other countries like in UK. They are coming up with new legislation. That doesn't mean to say that we are going to follow exactly what others are doing. We will, of course, be inspired, drawing lessons from the problems that they are facing, from the same situation that has arisen. And of course, we will see in the future whether we can be inspired by those legislation. And government, of course, in due course will decide on this issue.
Time over.